championship season as the Hastings High Tigers captured their second straight state championship. This is not just a highlight film. This is a story. The story about the Tiger football family. That family includes the fans, the parents, the school faculty, the community, the coaches, and a bunch of hard-working, good kids. Led by the senior class that had a 2-year record of 22-2, the Tigers played emotional, hard-hitting football. You're going to enjoy this story. Going out to play Garing for the season opener, there were a lot of question marks about our team. Who would play quarterback? Which players would be on the offensive and defensive lines? How many seniors would step forward to meet the challenge? Which young player would come out of nowhere? The coaches were also concerned about the long trip and the fact that Garing was a new opponent. A short stop at Cabela's helped the team relax and enabled Cliff to get a new pair of boots and for Lloyd to get an ugly hat. After scoring early on the first possession, the Tigers' kickoff team shows why they were a very, very important special team. The defense set the tone for the season. Then, from out of a near total eclipse, Dreer returned the punt for 60 yards, and the rout was on. On their next possession, with Garing forced to pass, our underneath coverage is excellent, and the Tigers go to work offensively. On the first play, Darius finds Ben over the middle with a play-action pass. After stalling, the Tiger defense takes control as Strom and Butenbach force a fumble, and Jeff Shaver recovers deep in Bulldog territory. The Tiger offense would roll up nearly 500 yards. And here, behind blocks by Brown, Beatty, Tripe, and Dreer, Darius runs a quarterback draw-in for a touchdown. On our next series, Tripe carries on a trap play, with key blocks by Strong, Freeberger, and Richter. Here, Steve Jones' leg strength is evident as he scrambles for 27 yards. Then on an option, Josh Cole shows why he was an all-conference running back, as he puts on a shake-and-bake clinic for the fans. On the night, Josh would finish with over 100 yards, with over 12 yards per carry. Later, Chris Glass shows our depth at running back, as he takes a counter up the middle for a good gain. Next, we see Corey taking a reverse around the end, with Darius and David Roberts making key blocks. In all, 6 different ball carrying players would score in the game with 9 different players carrying the ball. Game ends in a very lopsided 54-7. Some of the questions had been answered. Our next opponent was Norfolk on the road, and Norfolk boasted of having possibly their best team in history. Behind 26-0 at halftime, the players responded and outplayed Norfolk in the second half with defensive plays like this from Derek Smith and hard running by the Tiger backs. The passing of Jones started to click. But it wasn't to be the Tigers' night. Forcing 3 second-half turnovers, the Tigers used a swarming defense to hold Norfolk's offense to its worst half of football all year. As the front 8 dominated the third quarter, here the option plays are played extremely well. And Norfolk gives up another turnover. Punching it in for our only touchdown, Josh follows Ben in for 6 points. On the try for 2, the left side of the line knocks the Panther goal line defense off of the ball as the Tigers get something going. In the fourth quarter, after holding and forcing a Panther punt, Darius Cole finds the wall and returns the ball to the Norfolk 18-yard line. Tigers go down hard to the eventual undefeated Class A state champions, 26-8. Regrouping and having to prepare for Grand Island was not an easy task. On top of that, the emotions were running high on both teams, as this would be the last time the two would play each other for a while, as both teams' schedules would change. After fumbling deep in our territory, the Tigers spotted the Islanders 7 points before they got going. Here on a bootleg, Steve is forced to scramble for first down. With the inside walled off, Tripe carries the ball outside for a nice gain. A penalty nullifies this gain, and this time Nick follows the trap block of junior guard Adam Young, and the Tigers are back to midfield. On another boot, Jones finds tight end Chad Finney wide open to the 20. An option to Josh. And a play pass to Ben, and the Tigers are in the end zone. After forcing another punt, the Tigers show again that hard work on the special teams pays off. Darius finds the wall again while getting blocks from Smith at the top and Tripe at the bottom. Jones keeps on an option. And then finds Corey on another bootleg pass. With the Islanders threatening, Lloyd McIntyre, making his first start, comes up with a big hit. Then on 3rd and short, Richter strips the ball, and Chad and Corey tell everyone that it's the Tigers' ball. Josh Cole eventually comes up with one of his 2 fumble recoveries of the game. Near disaster strikes as the Islanders hold, and Steve is hit from the blind side and loses the ball. From there, the tenacious 22 goal line defense takes over. After forcing one fumble on 3rd down, the Tigers face a crucial 4th down situation, and this time the fumble is recovered again by Cole, and the Tigers dodge the bullet. Back on offense, Steve finds Corey on a vertical pattern for 25 yards, then is forced to scramble for the first down. On the reverse, Trier finds some running room on the outside, but time runs out in the half. The second half will find Beatty, Richter, and company making key plays on defense. As a Roberts catch of a quick out is a little short of the first down, Coach Harris calls for a fake punt to keep the drive going. Behind good wedge blocking, Tripe gets the job done as Coach Harris throws his hands up in triumph. Back on the defense, Strom and McIntyre keep the pressure on the Islander quarterback. Jones goes deep to a wide open Dreer, who finds the end zone. Corey shows why he has been an all-stater on defense as well, as he breaks up a pass with a good hit. Big Mac, back on the attack, runs off the field showing emotion and the swim move that Coach Tonnage showed him. With the Islanders getting close, Butenbach and Richter proved to the Islander back that they would be all-conference linebackers. On 4th down, Derek Smith shows good technique as he breaks up the play, and the Tigers go to 2-1 on the season, and for the first time in over 20 years, beat Grand Island 2 years in a row. Fremont is always tough on the road. This would be a pivotal game for the Tigers as they stick with their game plan even when things looked a bit shaky in the first half. Here, Jones finds Dreer on a delay pattern, and Corey shows some fancy footwork. After holding, Fremont takes over, and Beatty and Butenbeck put the clamps on the Fremont back. On this ISO play, Ben and Corey show how the middle linebacker position is supposed to be played. And Corey puts a good lick on the Fremont receiver. Again, David Beatty shows his speed and strength as he single-handedly stops this option. With their backs to the wall, the goal line defense is tough. But Fremont scores on a fourth down play-action pass, and the Tigers take over trailing 7-0. Jones hits Cole, who slips past a linebacker for a first down. Then on a 4-18 option pass, Corey slips behind the defender, and Steve hits him for a big play. After holding us, Fremont goes back on offense, and Richter makes a perfect form tackle. The next play shows good pursuit by the Tiger defenders, and a sack by the front four of Beatty, McIntyre, Shear, and Strom ends the half with Fremont leading 14-0. The coaches challenge the players to pick it up a notch in the second half, and the Tigers respond immediately as seniors Freeberger and Moman lead the charge of the Wedge Busters down the field. With good team pursuit, and pressure on the quarterback, the Tigers get the ball in good field position.
Have a good time, take a break.
Jones goes to work behind the front line and finds Roberts open on a curl pattern, and David takes the ball down to the 6-yard line. Cole then follows Tripe into the end zone for the Tigers' first score. Mike Johnson kicks the extra point, and the Tigers move on. Trying to take advantage of a soft coverage that the Tigers showed in the first half, Fremont goes right to the air, but Strom, Beatty, Mack, and Shear will not hear of it, and Bryan lets everyone know. This offensive tackle from Fremont had trouble with Beatty all night. With the Tigers behind 14-7, this may have been, as the Fremont coaches later put it, the play that turned the game around. Jones is forced to scramble and is in the grasp of the defensive end. But he escapes and reverses fields and finds himself some room and an open Darius Cole, who adds some more yardage by himself. On the next play, Steve swings it out to Ben, who behind good blocks by the wide receivers bulldozes a couple of would-be tacklers. Starting the fourth quarter, the Tigers trailed 17-7 and scored 21 unanswered points, which included this fumble recovery for a touchdown by Mr. Money, Corey Dreer. It's evident to see that the Tigers' dominance late in several games is a result of the mental and physical preparation done in the weight room all year. With Fremont needing a big play on their next third down, it is Dreer who makes the play as he knocks the ball loose and probably a lot of other stuff too. On the next third down attempt, Jones finds Dreer down the sideline. The pass was ruled simultaneous possession and goes to the Tigers. Then, on a short yardage call, Steve shows his strength behind great wedge blocking by Brown, Young, Beatty, Richter, and Freeberger. And with Finney and Butenbeck as escorts, Cole takes it into the end zone. With a near-perfect second half, the Tigers get a hard-fought road victory as they defeat Fremont 28-17. And a few more questions are answered. Going to play North Platte would be the Tigers' fourth game out of their first 5 that was on the road. Their nickname should have been the Globetrotters. North Platte was always a physical game, and this would be no exception. Steve ducks it up on an early option play and gets 33 yards. After a holding penalty, the option pass proves successful as Dreer comes back to make a big play and the first 6 points. As the kickoff is squibbed, David Roberts, the contained man on the bottom, really sticks the return man, and the ball shoots straight into the hands of another Bulldog player. With the Bulldogs driving, they try a play-action pass, but with good coverage and good pursuit, Nick and Josh lower the boom. Now, on this interesting play, the lead option is stopped when the Bulldog quarterback makes a bad pitch, and the Tigers end up with the football. And our Tribune reporter, Kyle Speck, points it out. Butenbach comes up from the bottom of the pile. Later in the quarter, with the Bulldogs threatening on 4th and goal, Ben and Corey make the big play. On this counter dive pass, Jones scrambles to buy some time and sees Darius Cole, who's working himself open down the sideline. Then, on the blitz, Steve sees Corey with man coverage and hits him with a perfect strike for the touchdown. On North Platte's next possession, Ben and Corey lay the wood to the Bulldog fullback as they stop the trap. Next, from spread formation, North Platte goes over the middle, and Brett Greeno puts it up to a Bulldog receiver. Brett had a super game out at North Platte with several big plays. On this 3rd and short situation, watch the Tiger line knock the Bulldogs off of the line of scrimmage as Brown, Young, and Beatty give Ben the chance to strut his stuff. But the Bulldogs hold and try a counter that was successful for them earlier in the game. But this time, Pete Shear puts the clamps on the big tight end from North Platte. After a short Bulldog punt, once again North Platte tries to go man-for-man with Dreer, but with good blocking and a great throw, Corey makes it look easy. Back on offense, North Platte tries a counter option, but Brett easily picks up his 2nd turnover of the game. The Tigers then go to the razzle-dazzle with a reverse pass. Darius looks to a wide-open Jones on the pass back to the quarterback, but just overthrows it. People doing their own job is what the Tigers' defense is all about, according to Coach McAuliffe. Hit and run. That's what we want to do, and the rest will take care of itself. Back with the ball, Cole rambles for 10 yards. Watch as the linebacker picks up Josh out of the backfield, which opens up the throwing lane for Steve to hit Darius. Holding the Tigers, North Platte is back on the attack. This time with Brian forcing the pitch and Josh taking the pitch back, the option is stuffed again. With another display of athleticism, Steve Jones finds Darius on the scramble, which is now becoming routine. The official ruled Cole out of bounds after the reception, and Coach Olson uses this opportunity to chat with the official. Look at this hole on the counter dive as Nick and Adam crush the defenders and Josh does the rest. Out of the T formation, coaches McAuliffe and Stickles take a page from our old wishbone playbook, and Steve pitches to Ben for the score. The Tigers go on to take another road victory by the score of 28-13, and will be happy to be back home next week wearing the black jerseys, playing in front of the home fans. The Spartans came to town sporting a stingy defense, as they had shut out Fremont. It was homecoming for the Tigers, and Coach Olson told the team to take care of business on the field, because that's what homecoming is all about. Yes, it would be a night of big plays and total domination for the men in black. On this first quarter trap, Ben follows Adam Young's block and then does some damage of his own in the East secondary. This time, out of an open set, Josh follows Ben off the right side and makes a great move to get the ball down to the 25. This Spartan defender learns why Dreer was the most feared wide receiver in the high school football. Hastings 7, Lincoln East 0. Operating out of their own open formation, East tries a counter option into the boundary, but finds there is nowhere to run. Then, on an out and up, Corey has good inside position and almost comes up with the pick. On another option, the Spartans find the going rough again, and the defense drops them for another loss. On the counter sweep pass, Chad Finney makes a great one-handed catch, and the Tigers are back in business. With Roberts cracking back, Cole kicking out, and Young pulling around, Butenbach finds some room. The start the second quarter, David Roberts literally slips behind the secondary on the boot pass for the score. Our kickoff team is disappointed as Johnson kicks the ball out of the end zone. McIntyre and company defend the trap perfect. With East just over midfield, Beatty gets another sack, and the Spartans are forced to punt. Coach Harris's special teams go back to work as Darius gets a good block by Dreer and heads up the wall. Later, Steve on a 5-step drop hits Roberts as David makes a great diving catch for a big first down. One of the 20 first downs the Tigers will get on the night. Next on a counter sweep, Josh follows Corey to the 1-yard line. And then follows Ben into the end zone. The night belongs to the Tigers, but it doesn't stop there. After the kickoff, Butenbach gets the INT, and the Tigers have time to score again before halftime. There's an illegal block called on the return of the interception, which puts the offense back on the 46-yard line. Working the 2-minute offense, Steve completes 4 passes in a row, all to different receivers. The first one goes to Roberts. Then out of the shotgun, he hits Dreer, who had some finishing touches. And then on a goal line bootleg, Steve hits Ben for paydirt. On the night, Steve was 8 for 9 passing for 116 yards. Playing inspired football, the defense does it all. First inside, then outside, and Coach Mack lets everyone know that the Tigers have the ball again. On this unique counter sweep, all 3 backside linemen pull to lead Josh around the corner. Then Jones gets in on the scoring as he takes a lead option in for the TD. Later, on a blitz call, there are more Tigers in the backfield than the Spartans bargained for. Junior running back Justin Klein takes the handoff from Nick Fry on the counter. And behind Gabe Cordell and Jason Jones, the junior varsity offense starts a drive. The drive stalls, and East goes to the air, but Richter makes a diving play to knock down the pass. Everyone got a lot of playing time. The Tigers were impressive in their 39-14 rubbing of the Spartans. Yes, the girls were lined up 3 deep at the homecoming celebration. Next up for the Tigers was Scottsbluff. It was a game that concerned the coaches because it was one the Tigers should win, and win they did. With the Bearcats playing man-to-man pass coverage, Butenbach slips out of the backfield on the first play of the game and gets a great block from Roberts and takes the short pass all the way. On an outside change, Josh decleats the quarterback and Ben cleans up as Scottsbluff got a quick introduction to our 2 all-state linebackers. Again, with Josh putting pressure on the quarterback and forcing the pitch, this time it is Corey coming up from the corner spot to make the tackle for a loss. Back on offense, Steve throws to another back out of the backfield as Josh goes over midfield. On this reverse pass back to the quarterback, Darius decides to tuck it in and run. Behind some great downfield blocking, he takes it all the way. But a clipping penalty nullifies the score. In the second quarter, on 2nd and long, Steve lofts one to David Roberts deep, who makes one of his patented diving catches. From there, the Tigers go to a boot pass, and Dreer gets one of his record-setting 14 touchdown receptions. Back on offense, the Bearcats get a taste of the inside change as Ben and Howie get the sack. Watch here as Finney seals the defensive end, Tripe kicks out the linebacker, and Richter pulls up through to lead Cole for another big game. On the same play, Josh jukes the D-back and gets help from Corey downfield to score again. With Nick Tripe applying pressure, Butenbach tips the Bearcat pass, and Brett and Darius have a jump ball. And Darius returns it to the 40. On this counter dive, with great blocking up front, Nick shows his strength as he runs through one tackler and runs over another for a first down. On the goal line, Steve takes it in on the option. Coach Tana just loves to see this gang tackling. And Josh loves to run this counter sweep behind Corey and Lloyd. After a holding penalty brings the ball back, the Tigers go back to the air to find the end zone. On this kickoff, Freeberger shows his speed and makes a great hit. And with the help of Cleveland, Robertson, Smith, the Bearcat return is only to the 10-yard line. That is very, very important. It's a celebration. Here with the second offense, Nate Schaefer shows his ability on this track. Come on now. Let's celebrate. Behind Jones, White, and Schaefer, Chris Glass takes it in. Now the number 2 defense takes over, and Scott Reineke is in perfect position for the interception. But as it slips through his hands, he and Mike Johnson take it out on the Scottsbluff receiver. On this play, Joe Moman sheds the blocker and gets a tackle for a loss. All in all, it was a good night for the Tigers as they nearly doubled the offensive yardage of Scottsbluff, and with 6 different players scoring, they win easily, 42-7. They've beaten Kearney 3 times in the last 2 years, all in down-to-the-wire games. The overflow crowd at UNK were to witness a great high school football game. The Tiger defense went to work early, with key plays by Butenbach. Then Strong rips through to stuff this slot counter play. With Kearney's quarterback under pressure, he fires over the middle only to have it picked off by Ben. And the Tigers come up with another big play to stop a drive. There is so much at stake. Seems our freedom's up. Kearney's stingy defense holds, but Darius gets off a nice punt. And with great coverage, the Bearcats must start in the hole. Here, our 2 tackles, Cher and McIntyre, make their presence known as they stuff this trap. And then the right side of the defense let Kearney know they will be in for a fight. Behind good pass protection, Steve fires this quick out at Corey for a first down. Going right back to Dreer, the Tigers come up with a big play, and the Kearney defender is called for interference. On this isolation play, Cole, Mack, and Young take care of the linebackers for Nick. Then from the 2, behind knockdowns by Richter and Beatty, Tripe walks in as the Tigers draw first blood, and the big Kearney tackle shows his dismay. Back on defense, the Tigers use a relentless pass rush to further frustrate the Kearney attack. On 3rd and long, with more pressure by David, Brett Greeno comes up with the second interception of the game as the players are having fun, and the Tigers are back on the mark. Right away, Coach Olson elects to go downtown and yells for Cliff to get the tee ready. Jones wedges it in for the score, and the Tigers go up 13-0. Next, with Kearney on the drive late in the second quarter, they go to the flea flaker, but the Tiger secondary has it pegged, as Dreer just about comes up with another pick. Here with Howie taking out for the interference, Josh is able to get the tackle for a loss, and the Kearney backs continue to be frustrated. Kearney scores right before halftime to make it 13-7. And on this complimentary play to the counter sweep, Schaefer follows Young for a good gain in the third quarter. The defense is back at it, and it looks again to be a game that will be decided in the final minutes. Howie makes another big play on the counter, and after a scoreless third quarter, Kearney scores in the fourth quarter to go ahead 14-13. And as the Tigers get the ball back, Greer finds some running room down the Kearney sideline on the reverse. Then on the counter sweep boot, Steve finds Corey, who has beaten his man, and the Tigers go back on top. But with the missed extra point, the door is left open for the Bearcats. And with the Kearney quarterback going on a streak of 5-for-5 passing, the Bearcats get back into the end zone to go up 20-19. On the final play of the game, Steve is sacked, and the Tigers will need to beat Columbus on the final week of the regular season to even make it into the playoffs. Now, for the second straight week, it would be playoff atmosphere. And with both teams needing a win to make it to the playoffs, it was sure to be another typical Hastings-Columbus football game. On the first possession, Steve finds Ben swinging out of the backfield. Then, on a trap, Budenbach finds a huge hole up the middle. Next, it's Josh's turn. As Ben crunches the defensive end, Josh has some running room off the left side. After stalling, Columbus takes over. And on this controversial play, a would-be Columbus fumble is called back for an inadvertent whistle, and Columbus retains possession. On this toss sweep, Dreer has a quick fill with Howie turning it back inside. Back on offense, Steve hooks up with Dreer. On the lead, Josh follows Ben and shows some fancy footwork in picking up another first down. And on a key third and long situation, Jones fires to Finney to keep the drive moving. With the Columbus defenders intent on stopping the run, the option pass continues to be a fatal weapon, as Corey is wide open for 6 points. After the missed extra point, with the Tigers trailing 7-6, the defense stiffens. Beatty takes out the quarterback as he tries to roll out, and then fires up the crowd. Still in the second quarter, guards Young and Richter show perfect form on this trap play. And what would turn out to be the biggest play in the game, Darius Cole chases down the Columbus quarterback to make a touchdown-saving tackle. And on this tight end counter, McIntyre will not be denied. With their backs to the goal line, just seconds before half, 22 Kansas comes up big again. And again. Dreer's block of the field goal on the last play of the half allows the Tigers to take the momentum into the locker room. Columbus's defense had not allowed a point scored on them during the second half this entire season, and the Tigers would have their work cut out for them. Starting the second half, Jones pitches to Cole for a first down. Back to the air, the Tigers strike quickly as they realize that their whole year has come down to 20 minutes of football. Going for 2 points on the conversion, Jones boots and hits Ben just inside the pylon. After holding, Steve catches Columbus in man-to-man coverage and audibles to Darius on the quick post. Darius' speed and the play called Larry do the rest. On 4th and short, Coach Mack calls for the goal line defense. We play the option perfectly, and the Tigers take over once more. Using the passing game, Steve hits Ben on another swing.
I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you...
On 4th down, behind great pass protection, Steve threads the needle to Dreer on the sideline, but the ball is marked just inches short of the first down. With Columbus driving, Ben catches the option from behind. And on 4th down, Coach Mack sends in the Tiger Blitz.
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Back on the attack, Josh gets a great hole and slashes into the secondary, punishing this defensive back. On a repeat play, Josh bulldozes in for the score. On another two-point conversion, Penny is all alone in the end zone. With Columbus needing to score, they go downtown deep, only to have their pocket picked by Steve Jones in our prevent defense. And with a 28-14 victory, Hastings would enter the playoffs as the number 2 seeded team.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
The Tigers would have their hands full as the Thunderbolts showcased one of the best I-backs in the state. And of the 3 playoff games, this proved to be the Tigers' toughest test. Completely dominating the first half, the Tiger defense let Pius know it would not be just another night for the boys from Lincoln. With Strom pursuing from behind, the Pius slotback has nowhere to go as Chris Glass comes up with one of his 9 tackles. Giving Pius a taste of our Tiger blitz, the quarterback barely pulls the trigger, only to have Richter on top of the coverage. For the first score, Steve goes to the booth and hits Greer. Once again, David makes the big play from behind. And after a Pius punt, the Tigers go back to the air as Greer is one step from breaking another one. With Roberts cracking back on the option, Jones cuts it up and takes the ball inside the Bolts 30. To start the second quarter, everything is sealed off, and Ben does the rest. After holding, Pius tries a pass over the middle, but Darius will have nothing of it. On this counterplay, with good blocks from Beatty and Richter, Cole rips through and takes it inside the 5-yard line. With Shavers, Brown, and Young controlling the line of scrimmage, Gildenbach ISOs the linebacker, and Cole takes it in. As the Pius quarterback is forced to pitch, great Tiger pursuit foils this option. And as they look over the middle again, this pass belongs to the men in black as Darius returns it to the 20-yard line. Still in the second quarter, Greer just about takes the reverse in. But the final work is done as Ben pancakes the Pius defender, and it's 6 more points. With the Tigers up 21-0, and good coverage in the secondary, Beatty gets the sack. The third quarter begins with Ben finding the hole on this trap behind Richter. And as Brown gets a cage, Ben goes over and through defenders as he shows why he scores a 6.6 yard per carry average with the Tigers falling short on 2 scoring opportunities. The fourth quarter starts with our linebackers teaming up for one of their 31 tackles. On this first down play action pass, Greeno separates the receiver from the ball. And again, it's Chris Glass coming through with the big play. After a Pius score to pull within 7, they attempt an onside kick. Greer and the Hands team control the football. After another Pius score, the Thunderbolts have the momentum, and the Tigers need a big play. And once more, Greer shows why he was the offensive player of the year. Ben carries the ball to the outside, going over a defender to assure the Tiger victory. And the Tigers go to the next round with a 28-21 win over Pius. Playing at Dome College against the Crete Cardinals. Operating the Cardinal offense is one of the most dangerous quarterbacks in the state, as Corey shows why discipline is very important to the defense. Facing a tough 53 front, Adams springs Ben early, and as Greer takes out a defender and the official, Ben gets 30. On the option, Steve makes a good decision to turn it up for another first down. And the power play sets up this bootleg as Greer ties the all-time state record for touchdown receptions. The Tiger front 8 keep the pressure on as the fleet-footed quarterback finds no running room. Again in the second quarter, playing physical football, the defense shows why Crete will have to throw the ball in order to move it. But that can be dangerous too. As they go to the halfback pass, Corey comes up with the interception, as he and Darius are all over the Cardinal receiver. With their backs to the goal line, this running back finds the going pretty rough. And after a very short punt into the wind, Steve takes it in on the option. With Crete needing to get a drive going, Josh makes a great close and an even greater hit. Time and time again, the Cardinal drives are shut down. Here, Steve audibles as Greer picks up another big chunk. In the second half, the defense refuses to change gears, and Josh makes a picture-perfect form tackle. On this punt return, Darius finds running room behind the wall on the wide side of the field. Picking up on Coach Olson's halftime challenge, the offensive line goes to work as Josh goes in easily. Watch, while on this pass reception, as a would-be tackler is picked off Corey's back by Roberts, and the Tigers are back in scoring position. The fourth quarter starts with Ben wedging it in. Back on offense, the front five continue to dominate. And the second half is all Hastings high. With the Cardinals needing a lot of points in a little time, Shear gets the sack. And Greer breaks up the pass. Here, Adam White shows great man coverage as he scores the breakup on this pass play. Here, Josh Bartley overpowers the blocker to force a hurry and an incomplete pass. Next, Joe Bowman makes everyone at the barrel proud as he records the sack. The Tigers go on to post a convincing 35-6 victory and will move on to the championship game, which fits the number 1. The Tigers start early and don't let up, as on this trap, Ben follows an escort down the field. On a night when everything was clicking, Dreer takes the inside handoff on a reverse. Once down close, the Tigers will not be denied. As Johnson comes on and kicks his first of 6 extra points, the Tigers go up 7-0 early in the ball game. McCook looks to their big tight end, but here the coverage is as good as it gets, and Darius comes up with another playoff interception. As the Tigers are on the move again, Corey puts his mark in the record book with his 14th touchdown reception on this play-action pass from Jones, and the celebration begins early. Watch again, this time from a ground-level view, as the ball is thrown perfectly and as the Tiger students show their spirit. On 3rd and short, operating from the Badger position, Strom makes the tackle for a loss. When it rains, it pours. This punt snap travels over and out of the end zone, and the Tigers score the safety. On the free kick after the safety, our special teams again show their strength as Ben returns the ball up the sideline. Later, even an unbalanced line proves unproductive for the Bison. Here on the pass, Richter gets a quick drop to make the interception. Follow Ben as he takes this trap play into the end zone, then lets everybody know who is number 1. On this counter sweep behind the great blocks of Richter and McIntyre, Cole takes it down to the 10. Then on the double reverse, Darius walks in. Back on defense, the Tigers pick up one of their 7 takeaways as Richter comes up with the fumble recovery. Next, we watch Jones from ground level directing traffic as he takes it down the McCook sideline for the score. As McCook tries to get something going, it goes from bad to worse as the Bisons give it up again. This time, it's Darius Cole who's the recipient of another Jones touchdown pass. On this counter sweep, Young and Brown open the hole as Cole picks up 30 of his 177 yards. With McCook threatening, White breaks up the pass and Dreer gets the pick. And the starters begin to relax on the sideline. The fourth quarter also belongs to the Tigers as Derek Smith gets the next interception and then struts his stuff. As the seniors get the water bucket ready, the Tigers go on to win the state championship in convincing style.
Oh, it feels real great. Nothing like it in the world.
It's a great feeling both years, but I just think that this year was more. We had to overcome so much more. I mean, we're underdogs in almost every game. Smallest line in the state, I think. You know, I don't know. I just think our team played with a lot of heart.
For 2 games past, like Garing and Scottsbluff game, I was pretty sure that we were going to win this game, and I was pretty sure we were going to win this one too. Our emotions and stuff were at the peaks, and we were just going to do the job, and I knew we could.
Sure, their defense was getting frustrated because our line was just pulverizing them.
Team thing. You know.
It was a good way to end the year, and I couldn't ask for more out of that bunch of seniors.
An all-time state record should not go unnoticed. So watch the Jones-Dreer connection as they complete the 14 touchdown passes that set this new Nebraska record.
Together we have confidence in each other that, you know, I'm going to get to where I'm supposed to be and he's going to give me the ball.
Guy really come through in the clutch. I think he's a really big clutch player.
That was a pretty nice film. Everybody just got done watching, and we sure appreciate Mrs. Rodis's office, Chip Hartley, and all the other kids that helped put that highlight film together. This year we took a little bit different approach to the highlight film and kind of went game by game sequence and then added some special things in there, and then we think we have a pretty nice product package there. And it sure was an exciting season, our 1994 Class B state championship season. And going into the season, we really felt the hardest part of trying to back up the year before state championship would be just getting to the playoffs. At the beginning of the year, I was telling everybody we had to win at least 7 games to get into the playoffs. And although some of the media people and some other people around thought we could maybe sneak in there with 6 victories, The coaching staff really felt it was going to take 7 all along, and indeed it did. After the tough loss to Kearney, we knew we had our backs against the wall as far as the playoffs were concerned, because we were facing what we thought maybe was a little bit better team in Columbus, and had to beat them in order for us to go to the state championship. And kind of ironically, going into that 9th game, Columbus was thought to be in the same situation. They had 2 losses already, and they thought 3 losses would knock them out of the playoffs. But even with that last loss to us on the final night of the season, they still got into the Class A playoffs and went on to beat Omaha Burke, who was at one time rated up at number 2 in the state in Class A, and went on to the semifinals themselves. So all in all, it was a very exciting season. As the season developed, early in the season, I should say, we had some concerns. We had lost 3 all-state players off the year before's team, and that was Bo Butenbach, Larry Brown, and Justin May. We did have Corey Dreyer coming back, who was an all-state defensive back, and we had 2 real good linebackers coming back in Josh and Ben. And also we had our punter coming back, Darius, and our starting center, David Beatty. So we had a nice nucleus to work around, but we still had a lot of holes to fill. Offensive and defensive lines, outside of David, we had nobody else coming back. It was a big concern for us. We felt we would be pretty strong at the tight end spot with Ben. As injuries went on, as we talked about, with Nick Tripe and with Nate Schaefer, we have to move Ben into the backfield, and proved to be a good move for us as Chad Finney and then eventually Jeff Shaver came in and stepped up to help us at tight end spot. And all in all, just things fell into very much into place for us. As any championship season goes, there are 3 things as a coaching staff that we always look at. The first thing is we need to stay relatively injury-free. We had a few more injuries this year than what we had a year ago, but basically we kept kids pretty healthy. We lost Chris Glass, we lost Nick Tripe for a certain amount of time, and of course we lost Nate Schaefer early in the year, but they were all able to come back for crunch time for us when we got to the playoffs when we really needed them. So their injuries were in our favor again. Part of the reason for the lack of injuries that we've had the last couple of years is a little bit of luck, we all know that, but also that our kids work hard in the off season and during the season to keep themselves in shape, both physically and mentally, and I really think that plays a big part in us staying injury-free throughout our tough schedule. The second thing we look at is what kind of teams do our opponents have. We felt this year from the top to bottom of our schedule, if you took away maybe one team out of there, our schedule was very tough. Each team had at some time, with the exception of 3 ball clubs, had been rated somewhere in the top 10 in their class during the year. So out of the 12 games that we played, that meant 9 teams were rated somewhere in the top 10, either in Class A or Class B. I don't think there's very many other schools around that play a tough schedule like that. So we had to take a look at not only our injury factors, but then we had to take a look at the teams that we were playing. And then the third thing is you'd like to win some of those close ball games. And again, with the exception of the Kearney game this year, we won the close one. So 3 important aspects really helped to make our season. After I'm done visiting with you here, each of the seniors are going to come on and just for a few seconds so we can get one last glimpse of them. There was a great senior class. I really appreciate, from a coaching standpoint, all the hard work, hard effort they put into it. Seniors, you've got a lot to be proud of. I don't believe there's any other senior class in the state history that could say they won Class A as juniors and won Class B as seniors in the football championship. You've got a lot of accomplishments. I know you're all going to do well as you go on throughout life. And when we have our 10-year reunion of these 2 championship teams, it's going to be fun to get this tape back out, take a look at it, and play it. So seniors, congratulations. Tiger football fans, keep an eye on us. We're looking forward to another exciting year next year.
My name's Joe Molman. I was number 74. I played defensive end. This football championship was what made my senior year.
My name is Jeff Shaver. I was number 81. I played tight end and defensive tackle.
My name is Ben Butenbach. I'm 39, fullback, middle linebacker. It just kind of feels good for 2 years in a row knowing that we're the best and there ain't no one that can even come close to touching us.
Hi, my name is Brian Strong. My number is 65, and I played offensive guard and defensive end. It was an honorable pleasure to win the state championship again this year, and I had a lot of fun my senior year playing football.
My name is Lloyd McIntyre. I played tackle on both sides of the ball. Number was 50, and I really enjoyed this season. I thought we had a pretty good season altogether.
My name is Brett Green. I'm number 21. I played split end and defensive back for the Tigers, and I thought that the season was just unbelievable. It was great. I'll never forget it.
David Roberts, number 87, flanker. I thought it was great winning 2 years in a row.
Nick Tripe, number 33, outside linebacker and fullback.
My name is David Beatty. My number is 77. I played defensive end and offensive center. A few comments about the season. It was really fun. I think we surprised a lot of people, and I hope the tradition carries on until next year, so had fun.
My name's Derek Smith, number 15. I'm a defensive back, and I speak for all the Tigers when I say it's hard work being this darn good.
My name's Chad Finney. I was number 89, and I played tight end. And little recap of the season, we had a great time. It was a lot of fun, and I'd just like to thank all my teammates for a great season.
Benji Freeberger. I played offensive tackle and defensive end. My number was 75. I'd like to thank everybody for such a good 2 seasons. I had a lot of fun. When cooking Southeast, go ahead and hit the sack. We're champions 2 times, back to back.
My name's Jamie Michael. I played split end, number 22. I just want to thank everybody. It was fun this year. See you.
I'm Chris Glass. I'm a senior, and I played outside linebacker, corner, and running back. And I'm glad to have such a great season to share it with all the guys.
Darius Cole, number 19, wide receiver and safety.
I'm Andy Nelson, and my number was 26, and I played wide receiver. And this year was one of the better years in my high school lifetime, because it was one of the better years. It was fun. It was a blast, and the guys were great to be with. I mean, and the coaching system, they were great. It was just a great year.
My name's Corey Dreer. My number 10. I played wide receiver and defensive back. And I guess something to say about the season is, one of the only disappointing things probably that the season had to come to a close. Playing with the same bunch of kids for 2 years in a row, it's kind of disappointing to see it come to an end. And having all the coaches that we've had, and having fun with them, and going from a losing season a few years ago to a winning season, you just hate to see your time come to an end.